Yes, people. Welcome to a later than scheduled ManDem United podcast live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube, brought to you by myself, Flawless Mr. Take Note. And the ManDem United podcast is a podcast dedicated to all things Manchester United. And I'm joined by my special guest host, man from Red United TV, one of the most hardworking dons in this thing, one of the most hilarious dons, one of the best content creators, regardless. Man like Ivorian is in the building. What are you telling me, fam? You good?
My brother, man. What's up, everyone, man? Big up to you, Flawless, man. Man is good. We're in the house. I know it's later than scheduled, but it is what it is. But Flawless had to deliver this
100%.
ManDem United podcast, regardless, Tuesday, whatever time, even if it was midnight, we're gonna have to do it, bro. You get me?
Facts.
Big up to everyone that's tuned in, man. We're about to chop it up, man.
Absolutely. We got plenty. We got plenty to chop it. We got plenty to tune in with. Big up Lewis in the cut. Hey, Lewis, not champions of Europe anymore, are you? You prick. You know what I'm saying? And that. Hold that. Not champions of Europe no more, in it. Cry more in that. You know what I'm saying? This guy in it. You know what I'm saying? With that one quality centre back. You know what I'm saying? And that. Our centre back options are better than Chelsea right now. But as I was saying anyway, Manchester United podcast people, so please keep all your comments and questions Manchester United related. It is later than scheduled, the show, like Ivorian said. That is on me, so my apologies, but I will always deliver the shows like Ivorian said in it. But we will be back to 5:30 p.m.s Tuesdays, and that if that time does move permanently, we will let you know. But a big up to everyone that is locked in. Please make sure whether you're watching this live right now or you're watching this back, hit the like button on the YouTube, hit the like button on the video. Make sure you share it across all the socials and subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV. And make sure when you subscribe, you hit the notification bell as well, because you want to get notified every time we go live. And you can also check out the upcoming live stream schedule on a weekly basis. But as you can see from the title, people, RALF RANGNICK leaves Manchester United. What's the big deal? That was my thoughts on it. Normally, I leave the titles to videos and podcasts a little bit more open, but that's why I put that question mark there. But we'll go to Ivorian first, because me and him haven't spoke, so I don't know his opinions on the situation. So what's your thoughts first and foremost on Ralph leaving? We'll get into all the transfer rumors after, but yeah, your thoughts on Ralph leaving.
Boy. You know what? With Ralph leaving, it was a little bit of a shock, because I thought he was going to be there to help, steer Man United into the right direction. But at the same time, it probably says that, although I read a couple of news that Ten Hag did, appreciate there's a little bit of clash in terms of ideas and direction where they want to go. But Ten Hag was always in favor of Rangnick, never really had an issue with him. It just shows that Manchester United, in terms of their promises that they made with Ralf Rangnick, they don't really keep their word. They're not really a man of their word. Even though they're called Manchester United, they're not a man of their words. And Ralph leaving, I can be honest with you. When Ralph came in, we thought we was going to get a different style of football, but unfortunately, we didn't get that based on the players not able to do anything, not be able to play in a certain style. When you got a bunch of mishmash players that have different kind of qualities and strengths and weaknesses, it just doesn't work. Ralph leaving as well. I know that Ralph did throw the board under the bus a couple of times, and I know he was very vocal in his opinions. And at the same time, people may say that the board as well never really listened to Ralph, and some people may say that maybe Ralph wanted the job himself. But again, it is what it is, man. It's disappointing to see him leave. I thought he would be the one that would help that guide as well, Ten Hag, and guide Murto in his job as well, and teach him quite a few things. We probably lost a good one, but some people think otherwise, isn't it?
Yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. You making valid points there. I've seen everybody up in arms about it, and that's why I said, what's the big deal? Because that's how I look at it. This is not a major thing. Did we potentially lose a good one? Yes, because we've seen what Ralph can do when he's actually put in consultancy roles and behind the scenes. I can't say he did a good job or a bad job, because he never got to do the job he was supposed to do. And this is typical of the incompetence of Manchester United. The fact that we sat down with Ralph, said, all right, we're going to give you this interim job for 6 months. Why at that moment was this consultancy role not sorted out there and then? This should have been the first thing that's done. So we're going to get you for 6 months. Then afterwards, you're going to do in a 2-year consultancy role, regardless of who the manager is. That lets you know Manchester United had no idea and no plan of who the next manager was going to be. They were just doing this. They were just winging it, literally.
Of course.
And I can't blame Ralph for that. Like, Ralph got his money. Like, Ralph's, I don't get, because in his entire time of his interim basis, we're hearing different reports about he may get the consultancy role, he might not. Then it was full-time. Then it was part-time. Then it was potentially, was it 2 days a week or something
6
crazy?
days a week.
Or 6 days a week. Yeah, 6 days a month or something crazy like that. Then he took the Austria job. This should have been sorted out. I don't get it. No, actually, I do get it. Incompetence of Manchester United. Maybe I should have called the episode title that, because that's what it is. And that just sums us up. Certain things happen at Manchester United and I go, that's why this is an issue. Because that should have been, because Ralph, even if his philosophy and his ideas is different than Ten Hag's, him and Ten, maybe he could have worked with him just identifying players. Ten Hag could have told Ralph, all right, this is the style of fullback I'm looking for, just using that as an example. And then Ralph goes, all right, I can look and try and find that fullback for you. Why is that so hard? Not every single assistant coach who works with any manager has the exact same philosophy as the manager. It's going to be similar, of course, but everyone's going to have different ideas. If Ivorian's managing a team and I'm the assistant and there's a couple other assistants, yes, our general idea will be the same, but there's going to be certain things Ivorian does as a manager that I want, or other coaches want, whether that's offensively, whether that's defensively, whether that's formation, slight tweaks, which is absolutely fine. Like we see it when you hear Pep, who is it? It's like Pep and others say that they got their style from Bielsa type of thing, but it's like they tweaked it. You know what I'm saying? And that, like, you may have got a genuine idea from someone, but then you're going to tweak it. Same with rappers. You hear it all the time with MCs who will say, I was influenced by such and such, but they don't sound like such and such. They'll take parts, but then they'll put their own mix on it. I rap. If I tell you people, if I tell everyone who my inspirations are, you're gonna hear it next time you hear me rap. There's certain people you're gonna go, that's what I'm gonna put my own spin on it, and that's what it is. Going back to it again, Manchester, and nothing surprises me more. Nothing shocks. Would I have preferred Ralph to have stayed? Absolutely, 110%. I would have preferred Ralph to have stayed because of the work he's done previously. But he's now gone. It's not that big of a deal because reports are Ten Hag wanted him gone. Cool. Him and Ten Hag don't work together. Ralph's gone off to Austria. Ten Hag's landed. He's still, I heard somebody told me, who told me this? That reports are that he signs off on every player that leaves and every player that lands.
Yeah.
So what's the issue? I just think it's summer. There's no international tournament. Manchester United haven't signed a player. Everybody's bored. That's why this is a news story. Had we had signed a Timber, a De Jong, we'll get onto the Mason Mount rumors, we'll get onto the Nunes. If we would have signed any senior player, this Ralph thing, to me, is a secondary story without question. But because we haven't, people want to blow it up and complain and, United, like, Ralph's gone. It's really not that big of a deal. That's my thoughts on it, pretty much. Big up to Dan as well for the super chat who says, Hala Madrid. Yeah, Liverpool, hold that. Hold that.
Hala Madrid. Hold that, Liverpool.
Hold that. You know what I'm saying?
We have to say this. This is the greatest ever side to have graced the grass pitch of the Premier League, the Blades, the greatest team ever to be in the Premier League, despite everyone else getting the treble, the double, the fantastic double. This is the greatest team that won the Mickey Mouse Cup, Yeah, respect to the FA Cup, but the Carabao Cup is a Mickey Mouse Cup. And when it came to it, the big competitions, the league and the Champions League, they didn't win shit, but still they are the greatest ever side, to have featured in the Premier League. Best ever since sliced bread. The best ever since sliced bread. That's what they always say, And I couldn't believe it, You know what? I would like to just see every pundit so I can give them a slap in the face for the amount of shit they talked about Liverpool. Like they've never seen a team of Manchester United that had a Vidic and a Ferdinand, the great treble of Manchester United side on the 99 side that won the Premier League, the Champions League, and the FA Cup. And then they went a couple of years later, they done it twice by winning the Premier League and the Champions League at the same time. You know what, man? It's so much disrespect, man. The fact that you see one little team for one season, you think the greatest team to ever see. What about the other guys? What about the other guys that have done it before? And they've actually done it. These guys haven't even done it. That's why I always say, like, this Liverpool team, you can win the Premier League one season, and the following season you win the Champions League, then you win a cup there and a cup there. You're not that great, bro. Because anyone can do that.
Talk about it, man. I tell him, man. I say
Anyone can do
they're the
that.
greatest number twos of all time, man. They're carton
The
bags.
greatest number
Yeah.
twos of them all, man. Can you imagine? I was so happy to see Liverpool lose, and we all was happy to see Liverpool lose, you know, because that them winning their 7th Champions League would hurt a Manchester United fan, and they will probably destroy us, man. But just to give us a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, and you can, all you Liverpool fans can say, "Oh, you never won shit," but hey, we don't give a shit because you never really won shit. You get me?
Facts. Facts. Talk about it, innit? Talk about it. If you're the big club and you have, you get what I'm saying, greatest team ever to touch the Premier League grass, greatest manager, greatest fullbacks, greatest centre back, greatest double pivot. You know what I'm saying? Mo Salah, one of the greatest wingers ever, and you man are out here just picking up domestic doubles and that.
Greatest side, and you're one of your mans wants to leave already. You get me?
They said, yeah. Facts. Facts. They are there. Malcolm, you're right. Number 2 FC. That's what I'm gonna call them, man. They're the greatest runners-up of all time, man. Trust. Without doubt. Without doubt. Big up Mertaza says, what's good, guys? Hope all is well. Been gone for a while, but hyped to come back to talk United. See, this comment there, big up to you, Mertaza. At the end there, hyped to see optimism. Hype. That is one thing, I think, since the start of this show, the inception, big up to my guy JV, who I started the show with. I'm actually optimistic going into a season. I'm looking at it and going, all right, we can do something here. We legit. I have faith. I actually have belief. Whereas at the start of last season, I legit didn't have no faith. I'm like, nah. But this time I'm like, with Ten Hag in charge, I'm like, okay, we've got something to bring to the dance. I'm saying, big up Lewis, look at his prick. Make sure you go subscribe to his channel as well, innit? Ralph Wiggin came to Manchester and left with a P45. Yo, it happens in that. You know what I'm saying? Big up Unja, Sarcasm City, Ivorian, big up my guys, big up to you. It's also saying Lewis is saying reigning defendant, whatever, man. Also smash the likes, United, smash the door in front of Rangnick face. This guy, idiot, you know, he's such an idiot. Keenan says here, Daily Blind giving us warning signs about Ten Hag. We'll post the quotes now. Appreciate you posting the quotes, my guy. He says, in Ajax, he knows that everyone in the club is important and everyone needs to be involved to get to that winning mentality. He wants to keep everything close, and he is also a control freak. All right, we'll start there. Thoughts on this here? Ivorian, talk to me.
Brilliant. Do you know what it is? I like that. I don't think that's anything bad. He's a control freak. He wants to win. You know, he wants to be in control of everything, you know. Just make sure that he says, hey, Rashford, hey, I'm the captain of this ship. And I like that and I respect that, man. Great winners, just like Pep, I'm very sure he's known as being a control freak, just like Klopp. He's probably known as being a control freak that, you know, keeps everyone in line as well. It's normal. Great teams, great managers are control freaks. Do you get what I'm saying? For you to get to the top and win trophies, you have to be a control freak. Otherwise, you're just going to end up being that guy that can't control his own kids and he's stressed out. Then he needs to call the super nanny like Florida.
Yep.
Sort these men out. And that's the problem with us. We don't have our managers that we've had previously, especially the previous one before Rangnick, wasn't a control freak. He was a lenient babysitter. He was the supply teacher that you can say whatever you want in class and throw papers at him if you have to. And when he turns back, we throw that, it was him, the other guy. And everyone pointing at each other, taking him for a dickhead. But it is what it is, man. But big up to Blind that said that, because now we know exactly the type of manager we have, that, you know, he thinks that everyone is important, even all the way down to the dinner lady at Old Trafford. Yeah. So it's really important. Even to the cleaners that clean the toilets, they're all part of it, man. We're all part of the family. Absolutely. We're here to win. You know, we're here to win everything. It doesn't matter who you are. You can be the ball boy, the cleaner, the dinner lady. You know, doesn't matter. The bus man that grabs everyone and gets them to the matches. It doesn't matter, man. Even including the fans, we all need to be as one, singing from the same hymn. So, like, a quote like that just makes me even smile even more, knowing that we've got a man that considers everyone. Without everyone, there's, like I said before, there's no I in team, and he considers everyone and everyone pulling the same direction. And they must do it, otherwise it's the highway, you know. Big ups to Ten Hag for that, man, and big up Blind for saying that as well, letting us know exactly what we're getting into.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ivorian. We great minds think alike, because the first thing I thought of, you mentioned it about the control freak thing, and I'm like, I like that. To me, Pep is a control freak. I put him under that bracket. And in this instance, as a football manager, it's a good thing I put Klopp under that bracket. Fergie was like that. I think majority, 99% of great managers are normally like that. So I'm happy with him being. That's what we need. We need a control freak. We need a drill sergeant. Keep saying this, Professor X without the chair. Like, that's what he reminds me of, and I'm all for that. There's for too long, these players have been getting away with murder. Like I said, I'll forgive lack of talent, lack of skill. If you're just not good enough from a skill set perspective and you don't have the attributes, that's cool. But when I'm seeing lack of application, that's a problem. Not receiving the ball, not running, not closing down, not pressing, not following instructions. I'm not good enough to be a Manchester United footballer, but could I follow instructions? Yes. Could I close down? Yes. Base. That's just basic stuff. That's all I ask for, is the basics. So yeah, I'm glad he's a control freak. He seems to have that winning mentality from when his first press conference, he says, I want to end the dominance of Pep and Klopp, which is the right idea. Like, of course you want to. Is it going to be tough? Absolutely, because they're two very good clubs, very good managers, and very well run. But the aim should be to get there. So I'm all for that. So I'm here, Keenan. I appreciate you putting the quotes in the comments. But yeah, I have no issue with that. He also says a manager who loves to play attacking football, which is what Manchester United stands for. I think he also said a manager who knows what he wants to keep everyone on board and with the same direction to get that winning mentality and winning trophies. He wants to be on top of everything. That's right. I'm all for that. I'm all for that. Absolutely. I'm just still riding the flag for Ollie. Professor's a Premier League percentage was 47%. Mourinho was 53%. Van Gaal 51. Ollie 51. Will you admit I was right about Ollie? No, you wasn't right about Ollie. Because none of these managers you mentioned, forget Ralph, Mourinho, Van Gaal weren't good enough. So you're asking me who failed the best. So if you want to take pride in being the best failure, cool. If you want to take pride in being Liverpool under, do your thing in it. If you want to be the greatest runners-up ever, that's cool in that. None of those managers were good enough. Mourinho wasn't, Van Gaal wasn't, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wasn't. The reason Van Gaal's now out of work, he's pretty much retired. Mourinho's at Roma, doing up third-tier European competitions, and Ole can't get a job in the country.
Ole can't get a job, but Ralph can. He can get a job in Austria.
Yeah,
Ole still can't get a job.
He won't get the Norwegian international job.
Even his boy Gary Neville won't hire him for the Salford job because he's afraid he might sack him in 2 months.
Facts. He's good enough for Manchester United. All right, you signing for Salford. Notice that. No, that's a very, very valid point. And someone tweeted Gary Neville that this is the same guy you was backing on TV week in, week out. He's good enough for Manchester United. All right, he should be good enough for Salford then.
Exactly.
Why not? Why has he not been hired for Salford, people? You know what I'm saying? That's a quick phone call. Because man know what it is. That's what it is. But hey, Andre, if you want to take pride in that, cool. Calvin says, I think they wanted Rangnick to come in as interim, but it was him that wanted the consultancy to accept being interim. Him criticizing the board didn't help. But that should have been sorted out then. Like, if he wanted the consultancy role with the interim, all I'm saying is that should have been patterned there and then in the negotiations. This is what's happening. This is what's happening. No, you're going to come in as interim and then this consultancy role will decide along the way. You can't wing Manchester United. This isn't a day job I've had in the past where I've just winged it at times. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? This is, in the words of Saeed, this is Manchester United Football Club. Treat it as such. How are you just winging shit? Like, we'll deal with that later. No. You know what I'm saying? This is not a bill you've got at the end of the month and you're like, shit, how am I going to pay this? Like, but that's...
You know what, yeah? But when you hear stuff like that, the way when Rangnick came in with the consultancy job as being something later, and then when you was listening to him in the press conference and he said he hasn't really discussed of that in details, it kind of shows you exactly what Manchester United is. Like, Manchester United are a club that will tell you that we're aiming to do this, we want to do this, and then later on down the line, it's not what exactly you sign up for. So sometimes you think, this Manchester United club, man, it's not surprising. So we have to open our eyes for the near future because Manchester United want to restructure. Are they going to get the best in class? Or are they going to support Ten Hag in the transfer window? Will they? We'll see. Because Manchester United can say one thing and then do another thing completely different. That's the thing that I have to say to everyone. Just open your eyes because that Rangnick thing is a real eye opener that Manchester United do not keep their words. You know?
Yeah.
You know, the fact that you couldn't even clarify a man's position at the end of what he will do, but you got him in the door. And then after that, once you got him in the door, you're like, yeah, let's just sweet talk him, twang him. And then after that, we're not really going to give him the consultancy job and then let him go at the end of the season. And again, that scares me, man, because it kind of scares me for Ten Hag. But Manchester will tell you that they will back you, but they might not back you.
I think I think the difference with Ten Hag is if that clause is true about him signing, having a say on who lands and who leaves, then that should be patterned. Hopefully, anyway. We'll soon find out. I hope that is sorted out, though.
I've seen a lot of guys, in the past, even my own ManDem, when I told you, look, I'm about to jump into this fight, you're going to back, man. They'll tell me, yeah, I'm going to back you in front of your face. When you're getting punched up, they're just standing there. That's exactly what Manchester United are doing. I'm going to back you, but not really, bro. I'm just saying it.
I hear that. And yo, we got royalty in the building, man. In the comments, big up my guy Predator every single time, man. Larger Predator. Like I always say, we've had him on the show before. If you don't know him as a producer, I don't know what to tell you. And one of the best producers in the country, in it, like without doubt, making moves. Predator, message me so I know it's you, and then I'll mod you as well. Because obviously we get fake accounts, but big up to Predator every single time. He'll be back on here definitely during the summer, people. Because I know he'll have a lot to say on what's going on. Because as I've stated already with Manchester United, it's going to be a busy summer, and we're going to get linked to everyone. Like we've already seen it. I come back today, which is why the show was late. It's good the show was late, because we can talk about the Mason Mount thing, which we'll get into, the Darwin Núñez. We got De Jong, there's Timber, Pau Torres. So yeah, the list goes on. Calvin here says, I think the reason why people are worried that is that with Rangnick, there was a football man making decisions above the manager. Now it's the same as before. It depends again, Calvin. I hear what you're saying, but it depends on Ten Hag's input. To me, from the outside looking in, Ten Hag doesn't seem like the type of manager to go into a situation that he doesn't have control. Blin said in the quotes, he's a control freak. So it doesn't seem like he's going to be, Manchester United are going to make footballing decisions and he's just going to go along with it. I think he's going to sign off on every player. That's what I personally believe. That's what I think it is.
So too. I believe so too.
That's what I think it is. Unja says, what do you feel about the comments? What do you feel about his comments about our current squad having potential because we finished second? I'm worried already. The reason why I don't pay, and this is where we have to be smart, the reason why I don't pay too much attention to press conferences, I only do it now because I'm content creating, but before I never did, is because of course he's going to say that. He's not going to come in and say, yo, this squad is dead. These players are dead. Maguire is absolutely terrible. McTominay is rubbish. Wan-Bissaka's trash. Tellers and Shaw are awful. Ronaldo's too old. Bruno is one of the worst number 10s ever. No. He needs to get these men on side because he probably, and you lot are going to get annoyed in the comments about this, some of you lot, he's going to have to use some of these men. Some of these men, because you can't, with the amount of players that are leaving, we can't bring in 15 new players in one window. So he may have to use a Maguire. He may have to use a McTominay, a Fred, a Bruno, a Ronaldo, a Rashford. Am I ecstatic about it? No. But I understand. And I think with the right system, he can get more out of some of those players. I believe he can get more out of Fred. I believe he can get, even though I don't rate him, he can get more out of Bruno. I don't rate Lindelof, but do I believe he can get more out of him? Yes. So what's your thoughts on this? On what he's said?
You know what, yeah? Absolutely right with what you said at the end of the day. You're not going to be out there trash talking your players, especially the part where he threw me off and said he believes that Maguire is a good player. I know he probably, after the words, when he saw Maguire face to face and he said, oh, thank you for believing me and saying I'm a good player. No, bro, if I lied to everyone, you're actually shit. Yeah? Because he won't say in front of your face like, he's a professional. We're all professionals. We keep fixed professionals. So for him to say that, yes, it's true. And let's be honest, some of the players do have potential. We did finish second under a full season with COVID.
Yeah, he's not lying. We did finish second. He is not lying.
No fans and etc. But there are potential players. There are players that can reach their maximum potential. So Manchester United could get there. I don't think you should be really worried about that because you've got players like Jadon Sancho as well that's got potential to be one of the best players in the world. So he's not lying there, including, I can't even say anymore because there's not that much potential at Manchester United right now. Everyone else has stagnated or regressed. And you've got someone like Ronaldo who can score goals. So there are potential for Manchester United to do well. So he's not lying there. Like Manchester United did finish second, despite all the odds and all the circumstances. You know, man's not capping. He's not really capping, but there are some dead woods there. But there are players with potential that he can take them to the next level. So yeah, big up to Ten Hag anyway, man. My guy, Eric Ten Hag, the one that's come here to battle them all. You know, gotta big up man's with fighting spirit, man. I gotta respect that, man. He's a top general as well, man. But yeah, I'm about that, man.
Yeah, that's why I don't pay too much attention. He's never gonna talk like. Are you not expecting him to sit down in the press conference and talk like me and Ivorian? It's not gonna happen. He's not gonna do that, like, because that would just be sick. You don't get everybody's backup. Like, we seen what happened with Ralph. Ralph was honest and said we need 10, 11 new players. Something me, Ivorian, and a lot of you lot, I think most Manchester United fans would be cool with. And what did the players do? Rather than prove him wrong, prove him right. Because we legit. How many times have people said, "Yo, get rid of them all"? Bad people have said that. I was talking to my mom about this. She was saying the same thing. Get rid of them all. I'm tired. I'm saying, like, nobody as a United fan is happy with it. Like, there's one or two you might pinpoint and go, yeah, all right, cool. Like, I look at Varane, I look at Sancho because they're new. The rest of them, if any of them left, I would have no issue. Zero issue. Like, there are no great losses to me that can't be replaced. But yeah, he's never going to do that. That's why I don't pay too much attention to press conferences. Like
exactly. And then you men as well know better in your own workplace, bruv. You got the visitors that's coming in. They're asking you, oh, how's it working here? You're out here saying, oh, it's fantastic working here. It's great. I love this job. Really and truly, it's not great. You hate this job. But you know you can't talk shit about your employers, right? It's the same thing in a press conference. You shouldn't expect any different when you got the big boy visitors coming to see you at your workplace and they ask you how good it is working. And you're going to lie. You're going to be like, it's the best job I've ever had. The people here, great. My manager's great. Even though your manager's a dickhead, you're going to tell them in front of your face that your manager's great.
Yes. You're not going to be like, oh my God, my manager's terrible. Like, no. Like, you have to be sensible with it. Like, you got to be smart with it. Because then if you say that, your manager's going to make your life hell. Like,
absolutely.
Mate, to have fear is always a good thing, especially the egos some United players have. And yeah, Dan, it is good to be kept in check because the ego's good and bad thing because you want your players to have egos and be confident and have a rational confidence in certain situations, but also be checked. But a lot of those players, when people talk about the characters, I like that. Like, this is why I'm so happy, and I keep saying this, and I'll continue to say this about the amount of players that are leaving. Because I believe a lot of the problematic players who fall under this bracket are now going. And on top of them not having the right personalities, they're not good enough talent-wise anyway. So I'm with it. Murtaza says, I can't lie, I'm happy Ralph left. I was hyped when he said he wanted to change the way we played football, but continue to pick McTominay, Maguire week in, week out. Yeah, like I said, would I prefer him to go upstairs? Like Shaquem's saying here, not going to lie, I was more excited about Ralph going upstairs than that was the dream. But we move on. Pyramid Scheme here is saying nothing has changed. Still chasing players who don't want to be here. Still slow as fuck in the transfer market. Still getting rid of actual footballing people. I can't say nothing's changed. I gotta give it more time.
No, do you know what I have to say with people? Because people are out here like going crazy that how come I haven't signed any players? I see other people signing players. You need to understand that Manchester United are going through a structural change upstairs. Until that is sorted out, then you probably start seeing some transfer activities. We just had a deputy director of football. We sacked some of our coaches. You know, we need to replace our coaching staff. You know, Mike Phelan is leaving. A lot of things need to be changed upstairs. And then once that is sorted, you can then expect to see some transfer activity. So to me personally, I don't expect Manchester United to sign anyone until the next 2 to 3 weeks because we're still sorting out a back of the house, as one would say. So people need to just calm down, stop going crazy because you've just seen someone like Perisic sign for Tottenham. Dortmund have signed 4 players. Real Madrid have signed 2 or 3 players because they're already established upstairs and they're established on the ground floor. That's just normal. Us right now, we're trying to sort out upstairs. Once you sort out upstairs and once that's done, got the right people in, then they will go for the players, man. I honestly believe that because you can't expect right now to see any transfers. Come on, we're slow. We're Manchester United. We're trying to change our ways, innit? We're trying to change from being a slow poke to something that's a bit quicker. So let things change. Just wait a couple of more weeks, and then if nothing has happened in 2 weeks, then you can start going crazy.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Give it time. Like, did you expect Manchester United to have this change and then we sign 4 or 5 players? Like I said, give it time. It's the window's not even open yet. Like, even if we sign players, they won't land anyway. So it's like, let's just relax and see what's going on in that. In terms of still chasing players, minus the young. And again, we're still chasing players who don't want to be here. Who knows if the young doesn't need persuade? Like, we don't know. Like, he needs to be buy into the project. Like, do we need to move on if he doesn't want to be here? Yes, absolutely. But have the conversation. That's all I would say. Because there's going to be players we go in for who may not want to come at first. But then what you have to do is have the conversation with them, talk to them, and then see what's what. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all. Like, yo, pyramid scheme, just relax. That's all I would say. Just chill out and just relax with it, and then we'll see. Now, if this time next month we're not signed anyone,
Yeah, you
that's
can.
when it's time to worry.
Yeah.
Like if it's the 30th of June and nobody signed, I'm like, all right, now it's time to concerns. Remember the hold up we had, how long it took to get Ten Hag? He definitely put it in his contract to sign off. Maybe. I hope so. I hope that's what he did. Spurs fan here. Hello and big up Flawless and everyone else. I think Ten Hag will get the best out of your players. Big up glory Tottenham Hotspur. I hope so. All right, let's get into this because we've been linked again with so many players already and a couple of Chelsea players in the mix. But Calvin asks here, thoughts on Darwin Núñez as a possible option? Also, do you think Ronaldo will stay? If not, do you need 2 strikers in? So he's asked 3 questions. I'll let you get to the 3 questions first.
I'm gonna address the first one. Ronaldo will be here next season. He will stay. He'll definitely give us 1 more year. My thoughts on Darwin Núñez as a possible option. A lot of clubs are after him. We all know that. And for Manchester United, because we don't have Champions League, it's going to be very hard to compete with the other top clubs in Europe that wants him. The only thing that can persuade him is the project and potentially the contract. The money is as well can only be the only way he can come to Manchester United. Darwin Núñez is a good player, but there are deficiencies that I don't like. You know, his first touch and etc. ain't that great. Yeah, and he's not. To be honest with you, I know he's at Benfica and he's done well and he's impressed in the Champions League, but I haven't seen a second season of him to make me think, yeah, he's ready for Manchester United. Because sometimes I ask for consistency season after season, at least 2 or 3 seasons of scoring 20 to 30 goals in your respective division. And for me to start saying, yeah, he's ready for that move to the next level. But Darwin Núñez is a good talent. And if Manchester United was to go for him, it would be good for us. Do we need 2 strikers in? Hell yeah! Cavani's going.
Martial.
Raper is not around. Martial is could be gone or sold. And Rashford, we don't know what he's about, whether he wants to be a winger or a striker. So we definitely need. We can't. Do you not see last season we had our hopes on a 37-year-old striker? You know. Throughout the whole entire season, while the other one just went on holiday and decided not to play, and then chooses and picks when he wants to play. So Manchester United needs at least 2 strikers to go through the next season and go throughout the whole campaign, because we can't have another season where we're just relying on Ronaldo. And then when Ronaldo's injured, we play Bruno up front. You know how that's like. We already know what that's like when we play Bruno up front.
Jesus, that is an eyesore, fam. You are right. Thoughts on Darwin Núñez as a possible option, Calvin. I'm not thrilled about it. Again, I've not watched him like in a full game, but when I see clips, I'm just talking from a technical aspect. Like, I don't like the look of him. Again, if he was to sign, I'd back Ten Hag, but would I be over the moon about the signing? No, but I would still give him a fair chance, even though I don't think he's the guy, because United have made signings in the past. And I'm like, I don't like this. And his players turned out to be successful. We made signings in the past. And I'm like, that's a very good signing. And that player hasn't hit the heights I expected him to. So Núñez is an option. I like the fact we're looking at a striker. I'm not really liking the look of Núñez. Do I think Ronaldo will stay? I still don't know. Because to me, I said this. Being in the Europa League, 1, I can see Ronaldo leaving. 2, if we do sign a striker, which I think we will, just because Martial is more than likely to leave, Cavani's definitely leaving. If we sign a striker, we're not signing a striker to play on the bench. If we sign Núñez, for example, you're not paying 70, 80 million to put him on the bench. He was going to be the first team striker. Now, will Ronaldo be okay with playing a squad role? That's what I want Ronaldo to be. As a squad player, he should be a rotational player. He shouldn't be playing week in, week out, in my opinion. Do I see him accepting that? No. However, if him and Ten Hag have that conversation and Ronaldo accepts that role, I'm cool with Ronaldo staying. To me, Ronaldo should really be third choice. I use the example all the time. When Chelsea had Costa, they had Remy, and then they had Drogba. And Drogba was third choice. I think it was under Kante. That's how Ronaldo should be. We should have first choice striker, second choice striker, and Ronaldo. His experience is invaluable. He can help the other attackers as well. And he's still capable, as we've seen this season, of coming up with goals, without question. Do we need 2 strikers in? Yes, we definitely need 2 strikers in. Because Ronaldo alone isn't it. So go get 2 strikers. Good questions, though, Calvin. Good questions. Make sure, though, people, you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button. Mods, please get everybody liking and subscribing. We're just under 20 likes. So please, please, please get them likes up. What's the next? Where else we at? Malcolm says, it makes sense, and it's the same with Klopp. When he first came to Liverpool, the squad was shit and still used players like Nathaniel Klein and their man regardless. Yeah, because there's no instant overhaul. Even Pep had to do it in his first season at City. Then he went the second season, went and spent like 150 million on fullbacks, went and got other things. But these things, it's not Football Manager, it's not FIFA. You cannot do a complete overhaul. I told man we need to get rid of 18 scrubs when man didn't want to hear it. The thing is, a lot of them are leaving.
Yes.
A lot of these men are leaving. You're talking 12 of that 18 is probably gone. But if we do get rid of the 18, you're not signing 18 players. So you might as well use youth players, utilize what you can out of the players you have. And then again, it's a process. The reason why I'm not in a rush is because we're not winning the Premier League anyway. We're not winning the Premier League. We're not in the Champions League. So we're still more than capable of targeting the 3 other cups we're in Europa League, FA Cup, League Cup. Target one of those, preferably the Europa League.
Absolutely.
See, yeah, you're right, Malcolm. Ten Hag in the press conference, the players are fantastic. Ten Hag in the dressing room, you man are shit in it. That's probably what it is. He's probably a little bit more eloquent to the players, but that's what he's probably thinking. He watched them at Palace. He's not silly. He would have spoke to Ralph. His assistants would have told him, like, he knows, man. He would have seen us on TV. He probably seen us in the Champions League. Like, you don't need to be a genius. We all know it as Manchester United fans that this team isn't that good.
Now listen, even a mum that doesn't watch football knows that we're shit now.
Yeah, facts.
So come on,
facts.
Everyone knows this.
Yeah, facts. Like, it's without question. De Jong said in an interview he wants to stay at Barca, but anything is possible. Did he say that? If he did indeed say that, move on.
He did say something similar to that himself, of course. He said that no one has spoken to him, and he would like to stay at Barcelona. He has spoken to Ten Hag, but he's not going to tell anyone, just like what he said, but just like he speaks to Xavi as well. But you can't rule out anything, because if the club wanted to sell him, then what can you do about it? But as of now, he's happy where he is and he wants to stay at Barcelona. He doesn't really want to leave. But if the club says, you know what, big man, listen. Our bank account's not set up the way that it used to be.
It's not.
You're going to have to dip, bro. If you listen, I know you didn't pack your bags, but we done it for you. But you're going to have to go. Like 80 million. We need the money. Bye. What can you do?
Facts. One just says, Ivorian, what makes you so optimistic about this project? What's so different than the past?
Because like I said, what makes a difference that the fact that changes are happening upstairs, isn't it? And I've never seen that before for a very long time, where a lot of mans have been losing their jobs. Every week, someone's losing their job, and then someone else is coming in. So it just shows with this new Richard Arnold coming in, and Richard Arnold did say that, listen, I'm not a footballing man. I know jack shit. All I know is numbers and profits. So I'm going to stick to my side of the lane, and I'm going to get someone else to have the handle the footballing side. And right now, you're seeing John Murtough actually getting the freedom to actually start showing his powers and strut his stuff, and start, getting involved in the footballing side and making changes. That's what makes me a bit more optimistic, And what's different about last season? The past season, we had Ollie. That's the difference. That's the difference. That's a big difference. That is a humongous, that is a mammoth difference. That is dropping Sokovia on the world. It's massive. And it will be a new Manchester United that you see next season, because again, half of the squad will be gone, and then probably 5 or 6 players will be added in to the starting lineup. So that's the reason why I'm a bit optimistic. There's the major changes upstairs. That's what makes me happy, and the fact that we will be getting good quality, real coaches, not your best friends coming in, real coaches coming in to coach Manchester United at the highest level. So yeah, and the coach as well makes a difference. Ten Hag is a coach that I wanted. It's not like the club went for Poch. I wanted Ten Hag. I was like, let's go for Ten Hag. Let's really go for it. And the guy that we want is finally arrived. Someone that's not just only a manager, but mainly a coach first. So that's what I've always wanted. Someone that's a coach first, who can actually take a player to the side and say, listen, we're going to do some drills today. Now, you're not going to join the rest of the club, the rest of the guys. We're going to do some drills on your finishing. You see this whistle? I'm going to blow it 1,000 times, because you're going to get a lot of things wrong. We're going to repeat all the time. that's what I'm happy about. That we finally got a coach, tactically strong as well.
Yeah.
Plays good attacking football, the football that we want, not the sit back and soak up all the pressure and then counter attack. That type of football, I hate it. So I'm happy, man. For more than 15 years, I've hated the way Manchester United played football. Yeah. For more than 15 years, I've hated the way Manchester United played football. We've never played good football. And now we might be seeing some good football.
Maybe. Yeah, Miss is definitely a potential. So yeah, that's a lot different. There's a lot different from the past. That's why I'm optimistic. Like you said, no Ollie. That guy absolutely gave me zero hope. Go back and watch ManDem United, people. There's a playlist for this show. Go back and watch the ManDem United from the start of last season. Like this time around, when we're signing Sancho and we're signing Varane and we're signing Ronaldo, and I'm like, we're not doing anything this season. And I'm debating with the chat, and most of them, apart from Andre, have disappeared. Ollie in versus Ollie out. Now everyone's disappeared. No one come back and said, "Yo, Flawless, you were right." You know, he wasn't gonna make it. He wasn't good. But hey, that's a whole nother conversation. They know what time it is. Stunarm says here, I'd much rather have Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney, I wouldn't mind as a backup. He also, Nunes Kali saying Nunes is a no-go fam. I would rather get Ivan Toney than Nunes. He's actually dead food because Toney would be cheaper than Nunes. I hear what you man are saying. I don't mind the idea of Ivan Toney. Not in the slightest. Big up disgruntled blogger. Says Sundown saying, let's go Flawless. Big up to you. There's another one, Lewandowski, who's been saying a lot actually. I don't know if he's been lost in translation, but I did see a tweet and it said something like, I'm paraphrasing, but it was something, let me know in the chat, but it was something along the lines of like Bayern Munich are run badly or something like that. But Lewandowski on the free as a stopgap while we get a right winger. Eriksen on the free to bolster the midfield. So 2 questions here. Ivorian, you can answer them both first, and then I will.
Lewandowski on the free as a stopgap. We get a right winger. You see, the thing is, yeah, Lewandowski would be a player that I would have probably went for maybe before he turned into his 30s, you know. I just don't know what it would be like for him to come to the... We said it before when it came to Zlatan and when it came to Cavani. I just don't know how he would be if he was to come to the Premier League and be able to handle that pace, the fast flow of the Premier League, the fast tempo and everything. It would be a good idea, but I feel like he's a bit too old at this moment of time. He's coming towards the end of his career. And come on, guys. I think we've had enough of having players that's coming towards the end of their career coming to a club, you know? We were saying that we want some youth. We don't really want the old pensioners coming in again to just get a salary. He will score goals, don't get twisted, and he will do well at Manchester United, you know, because the way he plays his football, he presses, he scores goals, he gets himself about as well. So he can still do a job for Manchester United. But I would just prefer a younger striker that's got a lot to give, at least 10 years to Manchester United. Eriksen on the free would be great, a great addition to Manchester United. It doesn't have to be a star, but it can be a squad player. And his quality, his experience, his level, the fact that he went to Brentford and galvanized the team and able to control and actually ensure that they made safety for the Premier League for next season. I would welcome Eriksen as a squad player. You know, because we need someone like that. I understand as well. I just said, why would we get a pensioner? But we need a midfielder of Eriksen's age that's done it all as well in midfield to help control the midfield. Our problem is not up front. We've never had a problem up front. Our problem is midfield. You know, so we need the energy as well, but at the same time, we need the experience, the know-how, especially in big games. Players who can control a game, just like when you saw Luka Modric strut his stuff on Saturday, controlling the midfield of Real Madrid. You need someone like that that can do exactly the same thing at Manchester United, regardless of how old they are. Because with midfielders, between the age of 30 to 33 to 34, they're at their best. They're really at their best of their best because they're so mature. They can control that midfield, you know, and they just won't crack under pressure. So Eriksen would be a good idea. Lewandowski, again, I will go for it, but at the same time, I'm just worried that he might get injured and he's old.
He's going to be 34.
Too much money.
Yeah, that's where it lies from. With the Lewandowski on a free, it's not a bad idea. I just think there's better ideas. I just think it's lazy. That's what I would look at that as. I just look at it as like, we know Lewandowski's quality. Will Lewandowski score goals here? Absolutely. I have no doubt he'll score goals. I have no doubt that he would work well with whoever, Ten Hag, whoever's playing on each wing with him up front, or whoever the number 10 is as well. But yeah, it just seems lazy, and United need to build. And Lewandowski, it's very similar to Ronaldo in terms of you sign him to win now. We're not aiming to win now. So that's where I'm like, maybe that's vital years and a place for a younger striker. Say Ivan Toney, for instance, who's going to be here in 3-4 years. Lewandowski won't be. Unless he has a Benzema run, which I don't think he will. I don't see that happening. But I'm not against it. We need a right winger, yes. So I hope we get a right winger. Would I take Eriksen on a free to bolster the midfield? Yes, but we should get more than Eriksen. I've said this. Yes, Eriksen, 110%. I'm with Eriksen landing as a squad player. But to me, we need 2 8s and 2 6s. We need a first choice 8. Wait, maybe more than that. Yeah, because we got Donny. So to me, I think we need 2 8s. So we need a first choice 8 and a backup 8. That backup 8 was Eriksen for the right wage. I'm all for it. It adds experience, Premier League proven, quality, good for that. And yeah, the 2 6s is needed because we don't have one with Matic leaving. We need a first choice 6 and a second choice 6 as well. And don't worry, we're going to talk on the midfield. We're going to get onto the Chelsea players who we have been linked with. We will get there, people. Pyramid Scheme says, I just want Ten Hag to get the players he wants, even if it's Nunes, who I don't rate, getting for the boss. No, but if buts or maybe stories. I'm with that. That's why I said, even though I might not be a fan, I'm backing the Ten Hag. Nunes is your guy. I'm going to see how it plays out. I'm going to see how I have my thoughts and give my opinions on it, but that's as far as it goes. Just going to blogger says, if I see McTominay start the first match, I'm going to go off. It could happen.
Oh, yeah, guys.
It could happen.
Midfield could happen, you know.
It could happen. It legit. Just because of the quick turnaround of the Premier League. The Premier League starts August 6th. So it's earlier than usual. And we don't know how we're going to do business. We don't know how many midfielders we're going to sign. Preferably, I think I want us to sign 4 midfielders. What would happen? No. I'd be over the moon with 2. But ideally, we need 4. But I can see McTominay, Fred. I don't see Maguire playing because I think we will definitely sign a centre-back. I can see that happening. Prime says, yeah, that was under Jose, Costa, Remy, and Drogba. The thing is, though, when Drogba came back, he knew he was there for leadership, squad depth, and team morale. Will Ronaldo be willing to do that? Prime, that right there is the $1 million question. I don't know. If he is, cool. If he's not, let him go. Carragher touched on it, and he said, when Pep went to City, got rid of Joe Hart straight away. Made a statement. Got rid of him straight away. When Klopp, I think when he went to Liverpool, Benteke was there for big money. I don't know if he sold him straight away, but he either sold him or phased him out. That's what you have to do. And Carragher wasn't lying to me when he said, you got to do the same with Ronaldo. And I'm in agreement because I don't see Ronaldo wanting to stay in a squad role.
No.
I don't see it.
Man. He says that.
Yeah,
you
man.
know it. This is Ronaldo's CR7. You know, he's a market. He even complaining the fact that he hasn't even been in any of the Man United ads too tough. Mm-hmm. So come on. He ain't going to be here to be a squad player, man. We just know it, man. It will be a problem. But that's probably a big decision that Ralph has to make. Big decision
he's got to make. You know what I'm saying? Ten Hag, yeah, like he's got to go. Notorious FAT says, Flawless, you need to chat to Baines again. Man's trying to compare Myrtle to Serrano from City. Like, that's Bainesy being Bainesy, man. You know what he's like. That's Bainesy being Bainesy. Where else we at? 100 says, I hear you, but don't forget Glazers still run the show. You can hire a new chef and then nutrition will remain the same. Hashtag Ollie Boys for life. All right, we're just going to skip over that. If you haven't enjoyed watching United in 15 years, what even under Fergie? What is the last time I enjoyed? Because that was
I'll be honest with you,
made. Under Fergie, we were even the best towards the end.
Prime, like the best time of watching Manchester United under Fergie, where we played really good football, was when Carlos Queiroz was there as his number 2. The second time he came around, where we had Tevez, Ronaldo. If you go and watch Manchester United back then, the football was European-like. It was high press. It was silky. It was attacking football. When Mike Phelan came in after Carlos Queiroz, it was defensive, counter-attacking football. Ever since then, I've never liked the way Manchester United played. I've always been envious of other teams like the Arsenal or sometimes Spurs or the Barcelona. I said, why can't we play like that at Man City? But Man United haven't been able to play good football for a very, very long time. I've hated it. If you could watch me, my match reactions 3-4 years, I've always said one thing was shit at football. And that's been consistent since this day, man. I'm not going to lie, man. Manchester United haven't been great on the eye with the ball. We haven't played great attacking football for a very long time.
You know, lying. You're not lying, fam.
No, because you enjoyed. Have you enjoyed the last 10, 15 years?
Yeah, like I'm saying, it is like I enjoyed like us winning, but in terms of like our 2000 and the last time we won yeah, I did enjoy that season, but that was solely because of Van Persie and having a player of that quality up front.
Yeah.
But the football wasn't really the best. So I get your overall point. I hear that. And yeah, Prime saying, yeah, the Lewandowski tweet was mistranslated. I thought so. Big up to my guy Ronan as well. Says, evening, lads. Evening to you. He says, do you think we'll get Timber and De Jong or just Timber? I can't lie. I don't know. I really don't know. And that's why there's a reason why I'm so optimistic. Because for the first time, I don't know what's going to happen. Last season, I foreseen what was going to happen. I was like, no matter what we do in this window, which won't be enough, we ain't going to do anything anyway. It's something about the unknown. So that's how I look at it. What are you saying?
I think personally, Ronan, I think we'll probably most likely get Timber because I think that's the most realistic option. De Jong's going to be very hard. De Jong could go all the way down to the end of the season. End of the summer transfer window where Barcelona says, you know what, you really need to go, fam. We want this 80 million, bro. You know, because the fact that they can't even register Sergio Roberto's contract at this moment, yeah, it's a problem. So you just never know with De Jong. It will probably go down to the but I doubt it because he's already saying that he's happy here. He doesn't want to leave. And do we want a player that keeps on saying that, oh, I'm happy here, I don't really want to leave, and keeps on saying that I want to go to a club that plays Champions League football? And we're going to have to question whether that player genuinely wants to go to Manchester United. You're going to have to question the move itself. But me personally think that Timber's the only realistic transfer that could potentially happen, and that's about it.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, we'll see. Like I say, the unknown. That's why I'm optimistic. I'm like, all right, big up to EFAC as well. Where else we at? Let's see. The De Jong deadline is the last day of June. Barca need to raise 500 million by then or sell players and assets. All right, that's going to be interesting. Okay, let's get you lot continue to get your questions in, please. Please make sure you hit the like button. And now we'll get into more. Big up to King K as well. We'll get into more transfer rumors. All right, I'll let you start, Ivorian. Do you want to go with the N'Golo Kante links or the ones today about Mason Mount? Or as I call him, Super Saiyan Bruno? Which one do you want to say? Super Saiyan Bruno.
Let's start off with the Kante links because, of course, Kante came out a bit earlier on of it during the weekend where Manchester United were considering a move for Kante as his contract would be expiring in the next 12 months. And a lot of Manchester United fans probably thought to themselves, well, it's a bit crazy, Kante. That's a good player. My opinion, first of all, Kante, a player that Manchester United should get, is questionable because I'm very sure Prime will say it right now because I'm kind of seeing a downfall of Kante in the last 2 years. He's the campaign that he had helping Chelsea win the Champions League was phenomenal. But I've seen a Kante that's regressed, constantly getting injured, picking up injuries there and there, and not really getting into the first team of Chelsea, just in and out so far, especially this season. And with that, it's going to be a problem because one thing I don't want is get another player that's injury prone. I've had enough of players fighting the physio bench with Phil Jones. It needs to stop. Cavani, Phil Jones, all these players, they just fight for the physio bench. That is my week to be sitting on the bench, and that physio get the massages and etc. And I've always said it before that physio bench probably saw Phil Jones conceive his first child, bro, because he's been injured for the whole career of Manchester United. Probably got married and had the physio bench as his best friend. You get me? His best man was his physio bench, which was the physio bench. So Kante, on the other hand, I feel like, Manchester United should not look at that. Kante's a fantastic player, but I'm more worried the fact that he's regressed. He's not the player that he was before. Kante's not the player that you saw at Leicester or his first couple of years at Chelsea. He's a player now that, he's still trying to figure what's his best position. Tuchel hasn't really figured out what his best position is. Same as what's the Italian manager before him. There was an Italian manager. What was that guy's name? Do you remember, Flawless? The Italian manager before Tuchel.
Oh, where at Chelsea?
Yeah, at Chelsea.
Who's their manager before Tuchel? That was Lampard.
Before Lampard, it was that.
Oh, you talking about Benitez or Di Matteo?
No.
Sorry.
Mauricio Sarri. Even under him, it was a bit difficult. The only time I saw Kante at his best was under Conte where Kante was said he was just like him.
Mm.
But yeah, as Kante so far, that transfer right there, I don't know, man. I don't know if it will help Manchester United at all. It will be great at the start, but I could just see him getting injured again. He's not the player that he was. What about you, Flawless? What do you think about Kante?
I've said this, and people are shutting down. I agree with you. Kante isn't the player that he was. I watched a lot of Chelsea this season. As you usually know, there's plenty of Chelsea fans on this channel. One too friggin' many. But you know, they went out in Madrid in heartbreaking fashion. I love that. But yeah, hold that, Chelsea fans, hold that. Lewis, if you're still watching, fuck you, innit? But yeah, it was great. It's great to see them heartbroken. All that talk they were talking, 2-time European champs. Hold that. But has he declined? Absolutely. So would I want him to be signed again? And this is going to be a theme when I say this, because our squad is so depleted. If we can go and get good squad players, go and get Kante. Now, I've said this, Kante at the right price in terms of transfer fee, the right role in the squad, at the right wage, I'm all for. So Kante coming in, playing week in, week out on 300k a week, I'm not with. Now, if Kante was on, say, for example, 100k a week and wasn't one of our first team, why? He's good backup to me. Experienced, still a good player, even though he's not once what he was and Premier League proven. So why would you not want Kante backing up? Say it was Donny, let's say it's Donny and De Jong. Why can't Kante, and then say our midfield options was Donny, De Jong as our first choice and Kante and Eriksen as our backup. That's 2 8s.
That's good. That's good.
That's good. Throw Fred in the mix as well as an 8.
Yeah.
That's 5 good 8s. All right, maybe throw Bruno in the 6. I don't rate Bruno, but you can throw Bruno in there 6. McTominay way down the list. I'm just using that as an example. Like, they're good options to have. And obviously, you can play in a double pivot as a 6 as well. So if you wanted to, because we're going to sign at least 1 6, he can play there as well. I'm all for Kante. Right transfer, right wages, right squad role. Why people are writing off Kante like he's not very, very good. I was having an argument with, it was Ryan and others. It was on Bainesy's channel yesterday. He's a very good backup. Why is Kante? He'd be exceptional. Why is he not a good squad player to have? I bet Chelsea fans would keep him on the squad role. But again, that's on Manchester United to do the deal correct. So yeah, I'm all for Kante, but just at the right price point. And this is what I'm saying, Stun. Basuma is younger, better on the ball, less injury prone for around the same cash. This is why I said the deal had to be right. Because why is it one? I don't get this with Manchester United. Why is it one or the other? Why can't we sign Basuma and Kante and Eriksen?
Thank you.
There's no reason why we can't. Why? I don't understand why we have to pick. We could sign Eriksen's on a free if Kante was available at the right price and Basuma wouldn't be that expensive. And go sign another midfielder as well. I have no issue with that. Who better for Basuma to learn from than Kante? And Eriksen. Yeah, Kante's still the Muller now, but in midfield still classed. And this is what I'm saying. He's minus Manchester City. To me, he's good backup for every other team in the Premier League. Chelsea, definitely us. Definitely gets into Arsenal's team.
I'll be honest with you, Kante is starter for our team regardless. Right now, if Kante was
right now, currently, if he lands, yeah, and that's a problem. That a declining Kante starts for us. That's the issue, but that shows the quality of where we're at. But again, why are we not trying to upgrade both? Why is having Kante on the bench a bad thing? To me, that's a great. I look at the bench and Kante and Eriksen are on the bench. I'm like, yo, I like that. They're a good option. They're potential game-changing players. You know what I'm saying? If you're backing up, I'm just using Donny and De Jong as examples for the 2-8 and a 4-3-3. Why not? Or if we need to be a little bit more defensive and you play at number 6 and then you play Kante next to them. Or you put Kante and Fred as the 2-8s as box-to-boxes with a number 6 in there. It gives Ten Hag much more options. And this is what you need. United are going to play 50-plus games a season, people. So I don't get why it's one or the other. Basuma's my pick. He's my number 1 pick for our midfield. But Basuma shouldn't stop Kante, and Kante shouldn't stop Basuma, and Basuma shouldn't stop Eriksen, and Kante shouldn't stop Eriksen, and Eriksen shouldn't stop Kante. All of these things can come together. But,
and it's a long game, and it's, again, where we are at now, the modern day of football, Manchester United, Real Madrid, all these big players, it's a squad game if you want to win trophies. It always has been a squad game. So, yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah. Pyramid Scheme says, Kante for the right price, less than 10 million, 2-year contract, max 150K per week, max. See, pyramid scheme, something like this. And again, people will say, oh, Kante won't be interested in being at Manchester United for that. Open a negotiation. Go ask Chelsea. How much for Kante? They say 60, 70 million. You say, all right, cool. But then again, it's all a part of the negotiation. What does Charlemagne always say? You don't get what you're worth, you get what you negotiate. Go sit down at the table and negotiate with Chelsea. And then you might be able to get them down to 30 million. And if you get them down to 30 million, then you talk to Kante and go, right, we're not giving you, he's on, say it's a reported 250K, 300K a week. We're not giving you that. And as we shouldn't, because Kante, if he leaves Chelsea, is not getting that anywhere else. But this is the role, this is the project, this is what you'll be doing. Simple as that. And this is going to blog, right? Disagree with this. Problem is, Flores, we don't need bench players. We need to sign Mans to go straight into the starting 11. We do need bench players. Because if we just sign De Jong and we have De Jong and Donny, guess who's on our bench? Scott McTominay, Bruno Fernandes. Players who you said, wait, was it not you who said that? Hold up. Wait. Let me scroll back. Let me check the files. You said this. If I see McTominay start in the first match, I'm going to go off. So if we don't sign these, again, it's not, we need both. We need squad players and first teamers. We need a whole new midfield. If we're playing 4-3-3, you need 4 8s and you need 2 6s. Currently, right now, we have no 6s and we have 1 8. I think is good enough to start, which is Donny. Backing that up, I think Fred's a good backup as an 8. So to me, we have one player who's a good backup as an 8 and one who's a starter as an 8 and no 6s. That's a massive problem. So why not go and get, and I'll repeat this, Kante and Eriksen and Basuma and another number 6. There's no reason why we can't do that. Okay. It is what it is. All right. We'll move on. Sorry, I have to get off my chest, people.
Yes, and then the next topic, of course, we're going moving into Mason Mount, right?
Money Mason, it Super Saiyan Bruno. You know what I'm saying?
Again, it was reported today that's coming from all different outlets, Sky Sports and etc., that Erik ten Hag is monitoring the contract situation of Mason Mount. I know a lot of Chelsea fans are laughing at that, thinking, please, bitch, please. You ain't going to get Mason Mount. You know, why would he come and leave Champions League winner Chelsea for Manchester United that doesn't win anything? Hey, don't shoot the messenger. I was telling people, don't shoot the messenger. Man is just monitoring the situation of the contract. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Watching an Iron Man to see, are you going to sign your new contract or not? So, yeah, Manchester United, Mason Mount, interesting thing because I'm a bit split. I like Mason Mount from the time he was at Derby and when he came to Chelsea. I like the look of him. I like a lot about him. He's got courage as well. He's good. He's good on the ball. He can dribble. He can take a couple of long shots, and he can assist. But of course, the last time I saw him was him missing the penalty, a most important penalty. But Mason Mount will be a good addition to Manchester United for the right wages, not for the right fee. Because I don't think Manchester United can sign a player like Mason Mount because he's a Chelsea player through and through. And Chelsea will command a lot of money for their English players, you know, the English tax. But to get him on a free, I believe that's more realistic than signing Mason Mount permanently because Chelsea won't sell him unless the guy leaves on a free. Mount is good. Mount will be a good addition because I can see him as a good number 8 as well for Manchester United. If Ten Hag is eyeing him and he's eyeing the situation, then what can we say? In Ten Hag, we trust, right?
Yeah, that's true.
If he wants him, go for it. Whether the transfer happens, I just don't know because, of course, it's Chelsea and it's his boyhood club, and it would be very difficult to pray someone away from their boyhood club. So I just don't see it happening. I feel like this is more just talk, just news, rumors, just for clickbaits and etc. With this transfer that's come, with this transfer of Mason Mount. So I don't see it happening at all. But I'd like to see a player like him at Manchester United because I see him as a good player. I like.
Yeah, it's 8. He's decent. This is the one that I'm most against, and that's why I said what I said, and I genuinely mean it when I say this. Like, we already have Bruno. We don't need Super Saiyan Bruno. However, if Ten Hag's monitoring the situation and he decides, I'm not going to completely criticize. Again, I'll give my opinions on players. I just believe there is better options. Suppose on a free. Again, squad player 8. Yeah, I'm not trying to see Mason Mount and Bruno Fernandes in our midfield. I've said this, but I put Mason Mount, legit, my opinions on Mason Mount are the exact same as my opinions on Bruno. But I believe Mason Mount is better than Bruno. But my opinions is the same where if you're playing in the midfield three, if you're going to be successful, Mason Mount has to be the third best midfielder in that first 11. Same with Bruno, if you're going to be successful. So that's why I'm looking at it and I'm like, I'm not thrilled. It don't feel that is really I'm just flat, but we move.
But the thing about it is that Mason Mount has character, and he's a player that can carry a team, especially when they're just on the low, you know, just everything's just down the ground. I've seen him carry Chelsea as well, especially when they need a goal. Unlike Bruno, and especially in big games, Mason Mount shows himself in big games. I like his character. That's the reason why I'll probably say yes.
I seen him cost his team 2 cups this season.
I know.
We ain't gonna forget that. And that people want to dispute that. Like he cost his team 2 cups. You know what I'm saying? And that. Just saying, people. Just saying. Happens, Chelsea fans like mixing it under the rug and that. You know what I'm saying? And that. But yeah. And Ronan, you're right, but this is not going to happen. But I do agree with you here when you say some United fans do need to humble ourselves in next season and trust in Ten Hag. Patience is key, but we're not getting that. Ronan, you're going to be here because you're always supporting. And what's going to happen? We're going to do a show. It'll be me and Ivorian, and it'll be a ManDem United after we've drew or lost to someone saying our first 3-4 games. People in the chat are going to be absolutely on Ten Hag's case, not good enough. Get him out. He's out of his depth. Why is he still playing this player? Why didn't he sign that player? It's going to happen. Manchester United fans don't know patience. Football fans in general, I can't say the majority, but a lot of them don't have patience. Like, I already know what I'm looking at next season, and then my expectations will either go up or down, depending on our recruitment and depending on who leaves. Well, yeah, with Mason Mount, I'm not thrilled about it. It's kind of leaving me underwhelmed, but if he was to land, yeah.
Yeah, but look at Pyramid Scheme. He says that Mount is coachable. Bruno
he is coachable.
It's a lost cause, you know, you get me.
Come in here, Mayor Football Supreme, see another Dragon Ball Z reference. That's why I call Mount Super Saiyan Bruno. I'm saying.
Hey, he might be a Super Saiyan Blue Bruno, you never know.
I even want that, to be honest, but you know. It's a bit. Well, that's pretty much my thoughts on Mason Mount in it. But is he, again, Ivorian's right. He is an improvement on what we have. But just go out and get better, man. To me, Ericsson on the free is a better signing than a Mason Mount. So if you're going to do that, Basuma is a better signing than Mason Mount. To me, Kante at the right fee is a better signing than Mason Mount. Even though Mason Mount, so like, I look at the options and I'm like, yeah, they're better. They're better. Prime saying it, bro, Kante has been finished for 2 seasons. The Champions League knockout campaign saved him. Hey, put some respect. He's the reason why you lot won that. Major reason. Now that he's finished, he's getting exposed by how poor his technical ability is. And this is why he shouldn't be starting week in, week out. This is what I'm saying, Prime. There's no way he should be starting week in, week out, to me. That's why I said at the right price point, with the right squad role, I would take him. But if he lands and he's starting week in, week out, I'm going to be upset. Yeah, big up Jez as well in the cup also. Large up Jez. But yeah. Donny, like, he's the one midfielder we currently have, Ronan, and I'm like, you should start week in, week out. He's the only midfielder we currently have at this squad, currently in the squad right now, because I still believe Pogba will leave, that I look at and go, yeah, you start week in, week out. Everyone else is a squad player or should be sold or in the stands to me. And yeah, large up Jez. Is there anything else? We spoke on Kante, we spoke on Mount, we spoke on Nunes. Obviously, Rangnick leaving as well.
And then we what else that happened the other day? Well, of course, we got Aaron Wan-Bissaka situation as well. Roma are interested in potentially signing Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Aaron Wan-Bissaka has had an awful season for Manchester United, and you know he doesn't fit into Ten Hag's plans. And again, unfortunate for Aaron as well. I don't really rate Aaron as much as some people do. I never rated him even when we signed him, because I know at times, yes, he was solid against us defensively, and Manchester United made an obvious signing, but Aaron Wan-Bissaka wasn't a player that I fancied. In fact, the fact that they told me that he used to be a winger, I'm shocked, man. I can't see it, bro. I really can't. But Aaron Wan-Bissaka to Roma looks like something that could happen, which I can understand. Jose Mourinho, defensive football, a defensive right back, which makes sense. I don't mind seeing Aaron Wan-Bissaka go, you know, because at the end of the day, he's not what we need at Manchester United. We need a fullback that can go forward, confident on the ball, that can distribute and defend. You know, a complete fullback that can do everything, and that's what we need at Manchester United. I remember Saka. I do feel sorry for him because he's come here under false pretense, under Ollie's ideas and all that kind of stuff, and since then nothing has gone good for him, and it hasn't been great. It really hasn't been great for us.
No, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Bobby's saying that.
Bob,
I think big up Bobby as well. I think everybody is in agreement with letting Wan-Bissaka go. I don't think there's anybody who's like, yeah, keep Wan-Bissaka. I don't think that's a conversation. And to Roma, it makes sense you mentioned it. Mourinho, defensive manager, defensive fullback. And I think he'll do all right in that league. You know what I'm saying? You got P&P in the Italian league, you'll be all right. And that's one thing he has. Trust me, I think he'll be all right. And Mourinho's not going to be playing out from the back. Mourinho's not going to do that.
You know.
Yeah.
And then there's one more thing, and we've got, of course, one of our own players that got promoted with Nottingham Forest, James Garner. Now, Flawless.
Yeah.
James Garner promoted to the Premier League. Is he a player that you think Manchester United should bring back to the polo midfield, or a player that should go back on loan to Nottingham Forest and
put him out on loan
within the Premier League where he gets
put him out on loan? Facts. Let's see how good he is. If he's that good, he'll thrive at Nottingham Forest and that. Put him out on loan back to Nottingham Forest in the Premier League, and then we'll see. And if he does decent, I'm even looking for him to like be exceptional. If he does decent, then maybe you can come back. But I'm not trying to. No, we need to go by quality. Go get Basuma. Go get Tillemans. Go scout another midfielder, like midfielders. Sorry, let me pluralize that, midfielders, because that's what we need with the S on the end, capital S. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's my thoughts. That's my thoughts on it. I'm not trying to see James Garner or some other academy kid come through and be the savior of our midfield. Go and sign quality. Yeah, whoever that is.
I'll be honest with you, most of our young players right now, I don't think they are it at the moment. They don't have it. They don't have the X factor. I've looked at our academy and I'm not convinced. I'm not really convinced with what we have. James Garner, I've seen a bit of him, but I still feel like he's not ready for it. We don't want to do another Henderson situation where obviously Henderson went to play the Champions League and then played one season in the Premier League. All of a sudden he's one of the best keepers in this league. And then when it came to playing for Manchester United, it just wasn't it. He just wasn't right as well. He made plenty of mistakes. James Garner is a player that needs to develop in the Premier League. Send him out on loan again with Nottingham Forest because this will be their first season in the Premier League. Let him enjoy because he will play for Nottingham Forest because he's been an integral player for them and their campaign to come to the Premier. To reach the Premier League in the playoff system. So let him go out on loan with them and develop there. And if he does well and impresses, even so, if he does well and impresses, yeah, I still say loan him out again because again, I just don't know. Like with these players, just because you've had one good season in the Premier League doesn't mean that you can do it again. You know, doesn't mean that you're great just because you've had. That's the same thing with the Henderson situation. You had one great season in the Premier League, and all of a sudden he's commanding number one choice for Manchester United, and that Wally decided to give it to him at one particular point. So with that, James Garner, even if he does well for Nottingham Forest, out on loan again, and still loan him out again to see how good he is for the following season. Because I like to see consistency before you come to Manchester United. Because to come to Manchester United is because you've been consistent at your previous club for not just one season, for more than 2 or 3 seasons, and you're one of their best players. That's my opinion of Manchester United when you come here, because you're one of the best players and you've been consistent where you were for more than just one season. Because we don't want no 1 minute man, no one hit wonder. We know how that turns out, bro. You know, people out here so wondering the guy that sang "Everybody in the Club Get Tipsy." What does he do right now? We don't even know what he does. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's the one hit one. You don't want to be a Jay Quan.
I said everybody in the club.
Yeah, you don't want to be a Jay Quan. No one knows what he does right now.
Yeah. 100%. I hear you. Big up Bobby as well. Says love the work ethic from you too. Same to you, man. Bobby out there in Scotland doing mad things and that. You can catch him on BBC Scotland and that, reporting at the grounds. Hey, if you need someone else, shout me, Bobby. I'm in. I'm gonna move to Scotland in a heartbeat.
I've heard your Scottish accent. It's fire still.
If we could sign 5 players this season, which position do you want? This is from Pyramid Scheme. I say centre back, holding midfielder, centre mid striker, and a full back, left or right. For me, centre back, 2 midfielders, right winger, striker. But I want more than 5. But if you're asking me 5, there I'm looking at the spine. I've said this: centre back, 2 midfielders, striker. They're the most important 4. Right winger. That's what I'm looking at 5. And then when you start talking about backups and other places, that we need a left back. We desperately need a left back to be. Yeah, but that's what you say in pyramid scheme. If you could sign, Ivorian 5 players, what positions?
Definitely, midfield is priority right now. Definitely a centre defensive midfielder and centre midfielder, and then after that, a new centre back that's aggressive, ruthless aggression and etc. That's got it all. And we definitely need a right winger, because I do not want to see Martial return and play in the right wing, and we will light up there as well. And then fullback, we need one fullback. A striker, forget the fullback. Let's get the striker, because we need a striker at the end of the day. We can probably bring in one of the youngsters and play fullback or whatever, or sign a centre back that can also play right back. Why not?
Because Timber's supposed to be like that.
Timber plays 3 positions,
But
But
how much we need, man? Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
We need a lot.
We need a hell of a lot. Like, we really do, yo, when you play. We're talking about 5, and it's like, nah, they still need more.
That's just the minimum. We need 5 top quality players that can come in and go straight into the first team, and then everything else is a bonus. That's my opinion.
It is. Ronald's saying if Eric thinks Garner or Garnacho is good enough, play him. Yeah, I hear this. And again, I'm not against it. I'm just not a big fan of the idea. It falls under the Nunes, the Mason Mount, Kante coming in as a first team. I'm just like, nah, like Timber, cool. Everything else, De Jong, cool. Even Paul Torres. But Ten Hag definitely has more knowledge and has more information than me. So whatever he wants to go with, like, I'll be here doing watch-alongs and cheering on Manchester United and hoping to be proved wrong. But I'm just not really a fan of some of the ideas of a youth player coming into this predicament, into a rebuild. Can we call Mount still a young talent? He's only 2 years younger than City's Diaz and Liverpool's Diaz. He's only 2 years younger than City's Diaz and Liverpool's Diaz, and even 2 years older than Vinicius Jr. I don't rate that much at this moment. How old is Mason Mount? Let me check, actually. Let me Google this before we close. Let me check. Mason Mount, he's 23. So he's going to be 24 in January. So he's now your mid-20s. No, to me, you're not really a young player like that. That's how I look at it. And yeah, I'm with you, Dan. I said, I'm not a fan. That's why I call him Super Saiyan Bruno. He's a better version. He does all the same things Bruno does, but at a better level. I bet his assists, his GNA is very good. I don't know if Prime's still in the chat, or Chelsea fans, you don't know, but I bet his GNA is good. That's Bruno. But last season, assist hype. Stun says, do you think he could retrain Fred as a left back like Pep done with Delphin Zinchenko? I'd say temporarily, yeah, but that shouldn't be the go-to. Again, you're gonna hear me say this a lot. That shouldn't be the first team option. Fred's our first choice left back. I have an issue with that. However, if he does a job every now and again at left back, cool.
Now we've seen him play briefly as a right back in one particular game. He did it all right. There was one game he played right back. They shifted him to right back when he was playing. I can't remember. It was a Champions League game, but he did all right. But
yeah,
let's not do this retraining thing. So we've seen that with Manchester United, with Ashley Young, Antonio Valencia. Let's get a real right back. Let's get a proper right back instead of doing
proper left back as well. Yeah, you're right.
Cheap way.
Yes. Bye, people. We are going to close out the show. Don't forget, you can subscribe to Ivorian's channel, Red United TV. The link is in the title, so you can click on that right now. This show will keep rolling, and it will open up a new tab, people. And then go subscribe to his channel, and then you can find all his individual socials and all the Red United TV socials as well. Like I said, link is in it's not even in the description, it's in the title, people. Make sure you hit the like button on the video as well. Make sure you share this across all the socials and subscribe to the channel. We will be going live on Twitch for a Twitch Sarcasm City Sports Q&A just over an hour, people. 11:30 p.m. I'll be over on the Twitch doing a Q&A on all things sport. But anything you want to add, Ivorian, before we finish this stream?
this guy Flawless just never stops, man. 11:30. He wants to work when I'm sleeping, so he wants to make money when I'm sleeping. Is that what you're saying, Flawless? You know,
has to be
do you
done,
get me?
man.
Money
I'm trying to get to it. Money Afi Mek, and I'm just trying to get to it, man. Trying to be great, fam. You already know.
Yes,
you already know.
Yes, guys. But as always, for now, we've got it in my page. Right, what you're gonna get is Manchester United news. So no more watch along until next season. As you know how it is. Season done, so it's just related news. As always, follow the socials as well. You'll see me next week here again. You get me? It is what it is. Make sure you subscribe, smash that like button, and remember to share. As always, man, it's very important to share. Smash that like button, get us notice. Press the notification bell as well, so you can be the first to get the latest video on Sarcasm City. You know, you don't want to be the last one to see it. You know, you want to be the first at the end of the day. You get me? And as always, remember to all my ladies as well. I have to say this, Flawless. You know. Because women out here are the ones that can make you blow. Remember to share the link to your friends, your boyfriend's friends as well. The guy that's been trying to move to you at the bus stop, telling you you're buff, and you told him that you have a man, and he's out of anger. He said you're butters anyway. Remember to share the link to the guy that's been trying to move to you at the train station as well. And remember to share the link to the guy that's always buying you food at work. And you definitely know he wants some. But you're never going to give it to him, bro. Remember to share the link to him as well. And also share the link to the chicken shop man that's always trying to give you a free hot wing to get your number. But you know what? He's all right with the Snapchat addy. You get me? At the end of the day, and last but not least, remember to share the link to your dad's friend that's been looking at you up and down. Now that you're all grown and you've got a lot of this and you've got a lot of that, you know, and they're telling you, my, oh my, you have grown. That's the African uncles. And then when they tell you, what the hell is this? Tell them that you found a man that does it way better than you. You get me, guys. Peace.
That is Ivorian's way of promoting the show, people. There you go. So that you'll get more of that on Red United TV. You can catch him there on Tuesdays, ManDem United podcast. This show will be back Thursday, 5:30 p.m. People, you get it Tuesday, Thursday, 5:30 p.m. Even though we were slightly later today. And we're going to continue to bring you the show across the summer, people. All the transfer news. Like I said, United are going to have so much. Even Mason Mount news broke today. Like the Kante news, the Nunes, the Young, Pau Torres, Timber. That's 5 off the top of the head. There'll be more. Probably be more by tomorrow. There'll probably be more. Ralph leaving as well. Big up to all you lot in the comments. Everybody commenting. Everybody watching live. Everybody watching back. Everybody who listens via the audio platforms. Links for those are underneath in the description as well. You can listen back to this on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts as well. Big up to Disgruntled Blogger, Malcolm as well. Pyramid Scheme says big up the Sarcasm City gang. Ivorian moving scandalous says that. Yeah, facts he is. But yeah, catch you 11:30 p.m. people on the Sarcasm City TV Twitch for Sarcasm City Sports Q&A. But this has been the ManDem United podcast on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Big up for tuning in.